Hey, what's up? This is Venger Satanis. It's been a long time since I made a video, and I'm making one now. The girls are still asleep. My wife's asleep. Um, it's 8:16 in the morning, and which is kind of weird, but I'm gonna make use of this time and make a short video. So last night I did another monthly meetup. This Madison Geekery meetup, which is for all sorts of geeky things, going to see movies and I don't know, doing this and doing that around Madison, Wisconsin. Really, all I have time for is what I'm most interested in, and that is old school paper and pencil tabletop role playing games. And since I wanted to start a Vampire the Masquerade home game, I thought just for sort of a dry run, just, prime the pump, gear up for it, I thought, oh, well, this month I'll do Vampire the Masquerade, just see how it goes before doing the home session, which is a weekly thing every Saturday night. So this was last night, Friday night, and it went really well. There were a couple people that I think had never played a role-playing game before in their lives, which is always kind of cool to see and interact with and teach people about the game. And there were a few people that signed up again from the last time I did a meetup, which was in July, because August is kind of my busy season. And that was Swords and Wizardry. And so yeah, they came back again, which was very cool. And then a couple new faces that have played role-playing games before. One guy played Vampire before too, but they hadn't played in years. Anyway, it was very cool. I like the old school. I like the first edition Vampire stuff. I used just the core clans. The only thing I can think of that I used from Requiem is blood potency. I like that better than I like generation, because I don't particularly want the origin story of vampires tied to Cain and all that. I mean, that could be a theory out there, and some characters might believe it, or some Kindred, but I don't want it to be that the whole system tied to that. I loved it back then because that was all I knew, but since Requiem, I'm like kind of loving the blood potency. It gives vampires a reason to voluntarily, go into torpor for 25 years, a century, or something like that. And yeah, a lot of fun was had. We had a lot of laughs. We just played at the library, which had a nice open space. It's not as cool as playing like at your house or like an actual game room. Design a room or a space designed or specifically set aside for gaming. But you can't always have that, especially when you are teaching people that you've never met before, like a new game or whatever. Anyway, I'm also going to blog about my experience, and that's going to be probably a lot more worthwhile than just listening to me talk about stuff. Because, as I've said many times before, I am a better writer than I am talker, especially on this. At the gaming table, when I can see people and whatever, I think I do a better job. But anyway, writing is my thing, so yeah, check out my blog. I'll put a link down there. After the session, it's always kind of like, especially with a one-off and some people you kind of know or some people are strangers, it's just like, well, that's it. The game's over and I may never see you again. Or, the character you invested the last 3 hours in, just might as well put him in the fireplace because, that's it. So some people were like, oh, I want to play again. Like, is there a possibility we could keep doing this or something? So since I want to keep doing like a monthly meetup game, I thought, oh, why not do a second session of that, and we can just, keep the adventure going, because we kind of had to stop abruptly because, the first 45 minutes was character creation, and then we had like 2.5 hours to actually play, which isn't a ton of time. So that's what we're gonna do. Sometime in the middle of September, we're gonna finish. So that's always gratifying to know that your game mastering is appreciated to the point where people want to keep playing and they don't want to stop. That's always very cool. I think that's it. So, Cthulhu Fatagan.